begin. We'll just start in the room because there's still no one on Zoom. Come as you like.
Bobby, congratulations on the win. Obviously, the early goal was a great boost for the team, and it seemed like for most of the game, your team was just comfortable. Afterwards, in the second half, it seemed like there was a little bit of tired legs. David talked about, maybe the travel issues that you had last night coming into play. What did you make of your team's response after going down to 1-1 in the match in general?
Yeah, first and foremost, I think the first 30 minutes were very good. We scored the goal. We've created a lot of very good chances through our processes. And then, a lot of little mistakes. A lot of individual errors, a lot of playing in certain zones where, we talked about not playing into because of, Vancouver's pressing tendencies. And it worked out for Vancouver. They created chances from that. Okay, in the second half, you started seeing a little bit of the fatigue. I think it's fatigue of the past couple of weeks. Fatigue a little bit of our travel. It was quite interesting, but yeah, that's every team in this league will have one or two of those days in a season. You have to be able to deal with it. But yeah, fantastic for the guys to come back. Sometimes you just need to think of the 3 points in these games, especially where we are in the season, and that's the most important thing we get here as we go into a very busy stretch with short turnarounds in the next 2 weeks with 3 games back to back.
And obviously, a fantastic moment at the end there for the winner for Scaloni, the celebrations that we saw on the bench and on the pitch as well, for him to be able to come on 5 minutes, score a goal, come on for a player like Benny, who had a great match as well. What was it like to kind of see that jubilation from him and the team? Yeah,
I think from him and the team, with some of our young players, and he's a great example of it. Mateo, he's a guy that comes in and works hard every day. He's been excellent in training, and it's just a matter of taking the moments. That's something we've talked with him about in the last few weeks, that those moments are going to come. For him, based on the work that he's put in over the last while, and it's nothing better for a player to be able to do that and give himself a boost. As we always talk about 23 players, however many players are part of your roster. They're all going to be an important piece to what you do if you want to win championships. That's the one thing I've learned in 6 years in this club, and we need those moments from everybody, not just from the ones that we talk about more, the media talks about more. It's these guys that win you championships, and this is a vital 3 points for us to keep us moving forward in the league.
Coach, Debbie mentioned the way that he felt like the substitutions changed the game, especially after the FC was able to equalize. Just your thought process there on what needed to change and how players would go on kind of help them.
Yeah, I think it's tough. We've made a couple of substitutions and been scored on right away. It was kind of a tough goal. I thought maybe there was a foul on Janssen as the ball came out, so it was an interesting play. But yeah, we needed to freshen the team up. We have certain things that you think about before the game, but I think the important job we have as coaches and our whole staff, it's not just myself, it's thinking how we can change the game based on also what we're seeing. And Mateo, even with Mateo, was something we're thinking about to freshen things up. As Vancouver was starting to play a lot more long balls, there's second balls that drop into the middle of the field. Those give you great counter-attacking situations, but the player like Borges at that point and Benny maybe didn't have the drive to make the 30-meter run at high intensities, and we know Mateo is going to do that. So you try and think you're smart and you have these things in your ideas, and sometimes they come out in the game, and most of the times they don't. For us, for the players, they do the job, and they're the ones that do it right.
Bobby, obviously, big week in terms of the rumors, reports of Kwesi, and it sounds like there's been some pretty some movement on that regard. Reportedly a pretty big fee as well. What can you, comment on the Kwesi rumors and what it could potentially mean to have a young player like that move on for such a fee?
Yeah, the only thing I can say today is, he's obviously not here. So that's one thing, and it's something we'll be able to talk about in the next couple of days. Kwesi is an excellent player for us. There's a reason there's a lot of interest in him. He's had a fantastic season. He's scored a lot of goals and done a lot of great work, and most importantly, he keeps on developing his game. And if you do that as a young player, if you do that as any player at any age, and you have the drive to do things, good things come out of it. So he's one of those players, like many of the guys that continue to develop in our club. When you do that right, you know, like I always say, is the market dictates what goes on, and this global market is big, and there's a lot of clubs around the world.
I guess just in terms of your attack, of course, we're used to seeing a lot of patterns, a lot of, you know, movement in that regard. 2 goals today, direct, concise. What does that kind of say of the attack group you have, where they can see those moments and just pounce and play directly to you?
Yeah, it's you need to be able to change things up as we see things with different teams. You know, Vancouver in the last couple of games with us at Morton's Field, they've played a higher line and try and trap us in the midfield zones. We are a team that tends to pass the ball around in those situations, and to be honest, it's come back to hurt us against them. So it was something that we stressed during the week of training is reading their defensive line and seeing where we can get in behind a little bit quicker. We've got the guys to be able to do it. It's a tough thing, though, to switch sometimes in the team when you're so used to doing things one way. So if you ask me today, we could probably do it a little bit more. Because, you know, whether it's the first motion or the second ball, now you're able to pick up the ball in a little bit more space and allow your creative players to be a little bit more creative and use high bursts of energy in the final third. So we wanted to find that a little bit more, but of course, like we talked about with that second goal, Vancouver's coming with longer passes. There's going to be second ball opportunities in the midfield and ability to go forward, and we knew that's where we had to be good on the counterattack, especially when you play with a team who, not that they want to play longer, but at that point in the game, it was something they were doing to push for the goal. So players need to be aware of that, and hopefully they read those situations well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bobby, and that's it like that.
Thank you.